Hello everyone, I hope your April is off to a great start. Today I've got 5 ideas for pedals that don't exist but undeniably should. If you're a pedal company interested in making any of these, i.e. a pedal company with any common sense, I'll add my SWOT analysis as well as my designs in the video, but hit me up over email if you want to discuss further, serious inquiries only. The first pedal that the world desperately needs is the Preecho. Think Whole Lotta Love by Led Zeppelin. Near the end there is an a cappella vocal part, where Robert Plant bellows, "Way down inside." But before we even hear him sing that, there's an echo of it, a pre-echo. It's like a ghostly foreshadowing of the music to come. Very haunting, very cool. Imagine this effect on guitar. Before you even play something, it comes out of your amp. It would sound awesome. Here's the sketch of the prototype. It's taken me 15 tries to get this thing just right, so I've decided to name it the Preecho number 15, the PEN15. As you can see, it's basically got the same controls as a normal delay. You can adjust how many times it feeds back, how loud those feedbacks are, and how long before you play do those feedbacks start. I really can't imagine the technology for this thing is overly complicated. It's just the same thing as a normal delay with one slight alteration. The repetitions happened before, not after. Frankly, I'm shocked that this thing doesn't already exist. Next up is my next genius idea, the MP3 Emulator pedal. So right now it's fashionable to add a scratchy sound to a recording to make it sound like it's an old vinyl record, which is cool if you grew up in the 20s and have nostalgia for that period, but personally, I can't relate. I grew up listening to horrible, mislabeled MP3s pirated from Napster. I remember once downloading a file called Jimi Hendrix Stairway to Heaven, and it was actually Kryptonite by Three Dog Night. But anyways, how about a pedal that makes your guitar sound like an MP3 that's been ripped a million times? People my age will go crazy for the nostalgia factor, and that thing will sell like hotcakes. Here's my working design. You can select how degraded the MP3 sounds, and for the audio files out there, you can also select a variety of tones from different algorithms. For example, in my experience, the tone from a BearShare download has a much different effect on the high ends than that from Kazaa. Right now, 90s fashion, music, and design is seeing a revival. The stuff of the early 2000s is next. In fact, I may preemptively frost my tips and get a bunch of hair gel to prepare myself. Okay, if you thought those ideas were good, hang on to your horses, we are just getting started. Everyone and their mother has heard of an octave pedal. It takes the notes you play and repitches them up or down an octave. So here's my idea, the super octave pedal. It takes the notes you play and pitches them above the threshold of human hearing or below. Why would you ever need this? Well, first of all, animals. Have you ever wondered why your dog doesn't care at all about the music you're playing? Well, it's because it's missing a bunch of the frequencies that only he can hear. It'd be like a human eating ham pizza without pineapples. Totally gross. Now, the other reason for having this pedal, whales. If you can talk to a whale with your guitar, you've transcended music and have got yourself on that same plane of existence as Caesar Milan. Who doesn't want that? And if that's not enough, you also might be able to use it to hit the brown note. Have you ever played for a really terrible audience? Well, if you have, then you know how great it would have been to have had the ability to make them all shit themselves. Trust me, Dunlop, there is a market for this. Drop old Sammy G a line. My next one, very simple. We don't need to spend a lot of time on it. The Korg MIKU 2.0. Tighten up the tracking, give her a couple new lines, $1 million idea. You're welcome, Korg. Now on that note, I've got another idea that's slightly similar. A pedal that you can record any sort of sound into and then control the playback and pitch of that sound using your guitar. There would be an XLR input as you see on my prototype. And by the way, these ideas are copywritten. Don't even think about stealing them. I will send you a copyright claim. But anyways, plug a mic into it, tap the second pedal to engage the recording, tap it a second time to stop, and then save it to the hard drive. When you play a note on your guitar, it plays back that sample tuned to the pitch that you played. So essentially, you could fart into this thing and then turn that into Eruption, and what guitarist hasn't dreamed of that? I also think there'd be an onboard screen so you could edit the sound file just how you wanted. We could also put in a USB port so you could bring in files from your computer. For the love of Hendrix, somebody please make this thing. The world needs to hear Stairway to Heaven played entirely using sound bites of Owen Wilson saying wow. Anyways, that's it for my ideas. I should also mention that they are all true bypass, so you don't need to worry about your tone getting sucked up. Tune in next time to hear my pitch for a charity that does Christian missionary type things, going around to remote areas with little access to the rest of the world, but instead of spreading Jesus, we spread AC/DC, Black Sabbath, and Guns N' Roses.